This is Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network, brought to you by the Iowa Soybean Association, your daily recap of the information that affects Iowa's farmers, producers, and consumers, right here in the heart of the heartland. With reports from our award-winning broadcast team of Dustin Hoffman, Riley Smith, and Mark Magnuson. Now, from the IARN studios in Des Moines, here's Riley Smith.
Well, good day and welcome to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Today is Wednesday, August 31st, 2022. We're so glad you can join us today here at the Farm Progress Show in Boone. In today's episode of Ag Matters PM, I talk with Heather Gieseke of Indigo Ag about carbon credits. We also have a look at that ag weather outlook, but first, let's run down the markets.
It's time now for the Ag Matters PM Closing Market Summary, your source for market analysis and settlement prices from the day's trade in Chicago, courtesy of the folks at agmarket.net.
Well, we're at the end of another trading day, and for a bit of analysis, we're in person with Gieseke Burks of agmarket.net. Jacob, first off, what do we see going on in the grains today?
We didn't get a whole lot of look at it today because we've been here at this show. It's a pretty awesome show. And grains, continued a little bit of a sell-off there in the corn market. A little bit disappointing day. New crop ended up closing about a dime lower. In the soybeans, back and forth all day. So some volatility came along with that. Closed, down about 9 cents in new crop soybeans at the end. Wheat market was a surprise today, though, and I think that's a lot of global macroeconomic stuff going on. Trying to figure out what's going on overseas. Trying to position itself in the world market. For future needs. And we're always going to be the last place in the United States to have wheat, right? We're going to be the last source where we get the facilities, we got the revenue to hold on to it. And I think that's the wheat market's just trying to find a spot, measuring what's going on over there and where it needs to be. So. Right,
and I mean, a lot of the pressure that we could see today is that we're at the end of the month, just a bit of selling going on and profit taking.
Absolutely. I mean, the corn market didn't get bigger. The corn crop didn't get bigger today. We have to just realize that this is August 31st today. Typically, we're on a downward slope that feels like we'll never get back. And today, we were 2 weeks of seeing some solid, strong gains, and then to see 2 days to pull back at the end of August, it's not the end of the world. So I will caution everybody to get too bearish or too bullish. But what I will say is be prepared for volatility. I mean, even when you look at what was coming out here this week, we saw some first reports of what next year's acreage numbers are going to look like, and I think that's got everybody even looking at, okay, do I need to be pricing some corn if I'm blocking in my input for next year? That's a big talk around here today is this fertilizer price. How can we get it? Can we get it? Are we going to be able to afford it? And you better have a check ready to lock it in, it sounds like, too. But the volatility is here to stay, and a lot of that has to do with this month end, with looking at where we're at seasonally as well.
Right, and kind of a curious issue we've seen recently is the USDA's reporting system for the export sales is down. And we're not sure when that'll be back up yet, but usually we see just a little bit of a reaction in the markets from those numbers. Without those numbers, I mean, is there going to be much of a difference there? I know this isn't really the time of year where we're focused too much on those numbers.
Oh, that's an issue you probably shouldn't even have to worry about. It's very discouraging to not know what's going on. They push full transparency. And to not have that transparency is a very negative thing right now, and knowing what's going on and how to measure and how to see where our products are going. And that the export market has been pretty solid for so long, and then we've seen in years past when China comes in to buy, then all of a sudden they played games with it, and then so the reliability of that system is not there. And I even heard a joke a while ago, maybe they'll have some of those IRS agents go help them with the USDA. So I do feel like that's very important that we get that back on track. There's many different things they can do to manipulate, like how much they buy and where it comes, how that's reported, but to not even get the weekly. The weekly number, that's something that really needs to change, and I hope they get it fixed quickly.
All right, and what are we seeing on the other side of the marketplace in the livestock complex?
Going back to that point of not seeing export sales, that's a big part of not seeing what's going on in the pork and the cattle. And to start with the pork, I mean, we saw another $2 lower or something at the close here today, and that's mostly focused on the fact that China and their economic situation, and are we going to be able to continue to export pork? And if we're not able to keep that product moving, then I think that's something that we'll have to see lower prices. We're already trading now, a discount to the cash, significant, much more than what we usually do. But the futures is kind of leading the way right now, and we're seeing cash follow. On the cattle side of it, if you look at it from a technical perspective, the chart looks pretty ugly for that live crop, live cattle. I mean, we made a new low for this move. We're starting a downward slope, and so without going and seeing what the cash did today or anything, that technically does not look well for the rest of this week in the cattle market. And it looked like feeder cattle held on just pretty quiet and pretty steady there today.
All right, Jacob, lots of great information today. For those of our listeners and our viewers who would like to learn more and get in touch with the folks at agmarket.net, how can they do that?
Well, we encourage you to look at the 30-day free trial of our Intel. That's where we get all the juice, and that's where all the information can come to you. Look that up. You can always find us on the Twitters, you Google our names or whatever you need to do. But you can look on the agmarket.net, and you will be able to find all the information you need.
All right, Jacob. Well, thanks for taking the time to visit with us today. We look forward to visiting with you again soon, and enjoy the rest of the Farm Progress Show.
I think I will. Maybe even join a concert tonight, huh?
That again was Jacob Burks of agmarket.net. We'll go ahead and take a look at how those numbers closed. That's courtesy of the folks at Bar Chart. September corn is down 6 even at 673 3/4. December corn down 6 3/4 at 670 1/2. September soybeans down 5 1/2 at 1507 1/2. November soybeans down 10 even at 1422 1/2. Soybean meal down 9.10 at 420.70. Soybean oil up 121 at 68.90. Chicago wheat is up 10 3/4 at 809 even. Minneapolis spring wheat up 11 even at 915 1/2. Kansas City hard red wheat up 15 1/2 at 924 1/4, and September oats up 2 1/4 at 404 3/4. On the Merc, October live cattle down 125 at 142.57. September feeders up 27 cents at 182.45. Lean hogs down 207 at 91.52. Pork cutout down 207 as well at 101.62. And Class 3 milk down 17 cents at 19.62. And that's been a check of the Ag Market Recap here on Ag Matters PM. We're going to go ahead and take a quick break to hear from our sponsor, the Iowa Soybean Association and the Soy Checkoff. When we come back, I talk with Heather Gieseke of Indigo Ag. This is Ag Matters PM.
Iowa Soybean Association is driven to deliver for Iowa's 40,000 soybean farmers. We're proud to provide objective agronomic research, a helping hand with soil and water stewardship, and timely industry news powered by the Soybean Checkoff. Learn more at iasoybeans.com.
Welcome back to Ag Matters PM from the Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network. I'm Riley Smith. Yesterday, on day one of the Farm Progress Show, I had the chance to talk with Heather Gieseke of Indigo Ag. We had a good conversation about carbon credits and how Iowa farmers can utilize them. Big topic today is carbon credits, and of course we've got the globe back here to kind of show us a little bit on how that works and just the impact of it. So first off, let's just talk about your carbon credit program and just what the details are.
Absolutely. Well, this is what we call the big blue sphere, and I think one of the biggest challenges with understanding carbon credits is understanding what is a carbon credit to start with. And so this gives us a nice visual representation of what a ton of carbon dioxide looks like, and the opportunity that farmers have to draw down that carbon dioxide and keep it in the soil and be paid for those credits over time. And that's exactly what our Carbon by Indigo program does.
Right. So, I mean, for those of our listeners and our viewers who might not be as familiar with carbon credits and just how they work, what's a little bit of details on, what a carbon credit is, like you said?
Yeah, so let me just start with a little bit about our company. So we're an ag tech startup. We started in 2014, and our company is focused on using nature-based solutions and digital technologies to help farmers improve profitability while sustainably feeding the planet. And what we're seeing right now, and have been for a while, is a ton of consumer demand coming into the market saying, I want to understand more about the sustainability of my food, the nutrition of my food, the safety of my food. These are all things we've been hearing over and over and over again. And so these consumer packaged goods companies are saying, gosh, what can I do to make consumers understand that the ingredients in our products are sustainable, the foods that they're paying for in the grocery store are safe, nutritious, sustainable, and that the farmers growing these foods are doing the right things for the environment. Carbon is a great opportunity for agriculture to really leverage data, agronomic data, to help support the understanding of what's happening at the field level and tying that to the grocery store shelf. So we see a lot of companies out there making big claims about being carbon neutral, about net positive impacts to the planet based on changes that they're making in their supply chain, and also carbon offsets that they're purchasing in in the market. So what is a carbon offset? A carbon offset or carbon credit is a ton of carbon dioxide that a company pays for that comes from somewhere else in the world that's generating that credit. Obviously, in agriculture, we're sequestering carbon in the soil every day a live root is in the ground. So the key thing there is for a buyer to be able to say, by pushing money into a market, they are impacting change that is net positive for the environment. So that's where the practice changes come in that a farmer would have to implement to be able to participate in the program and be paid for the net new credits they're sequestering.
Right, so then let's go a little bit more into detail on the benefits and just kind of the things of Indigo Ag's carbon credit program in particular.
Yeah, so I think what's different about our program is we're an outcome-based program, and what that means is a farmer is paid for the credits they sequester on the farm, not for specific agronomic practices. And so there are many programs on the market. Some of them pay for specific practices. It's a flat rate each year. Our program pays a farmer for the actual credits sequestered. And right now, that payment rate is $30 to the farm for a single carbon credit. We see anywhere from a half to a ton of carbon per acre. So if you think about the opportunity there right now, this year, $15 to $30 per credit or per acre that a farmer could be achieving on their farm. From practice changes that are new or that they've implemented over the last couple of years, there is a look back period that we can consider as well as anything new starting this year.
Right, and we talked, new, that word can be a little scary sometimes to kind of implement that kind of stuff into your operation. So what's a little bit on just how farmers could maybe look into implementing that and just, how easy could it be?
When we sit down with farmers, a lot of times the immediate reaction is, I don't want to do cover crops, I can't do no-till, right? That's the immediate roadblock. And our answer is always, great, you don't have to. We don't want to be a company coming in telling farmers what changes to make on their farm, how to farm their land. That is their job, right? Our job is to come in and understand what are the practices happening on that farm today that could qualify them for our program. What we find in most cases is we can find a portion of the farm or specific practices that they're doing or have been thinking about implementing that qualify for the program. A couple of those include crop rotation. If you're a corn on corn kind of farmer and you decide to go back to a more traditional corn bean rotation, that's a qualifying practice. Reducing tillage. We see a lot of farmers in Illinois especially moving to vertical till. That is a qualifying practice change. There are a lot of opportunities that we can look at, moving nitrogen closer to planting. So it's not just no-till and cover crops. And when we sit down and have a conversation with farmers, in most cases we can find a portion of their farm that qualifies for the program and starts generating a payment immediately.
All right, so what's maybe just some other information that producers should know if they're interested in this program and just kind of want to learn more?
Well, I think the important thing is to just get a well-rounded understanding of the programs that are out there and ask some simple questions. Are the company's incentives aligned with the farmer's incentives? With Carbon by Indigo, the farmer always takes home 75% of the price of that credit. What is the price of that credit? Today it's $30. Our goal at Indigo is to create a wide array of buyers for carbon credits. Right now we are supply restricted, and what that means is we have so much demand, companies wanting to come in and purchase credits from agriculture, and our biggest struggle right now is having the supply on the back end. So getting farmers enrolled is critical, and less than 1% of farmers in the country are enrolled in a carbon program right now. This is a new crop for the industry, truly. So it rides along with your corn or your soybeans or your wheat that you're planting. You now have the opportunity to sell carbon, and we just want to help farmers understand how they can do that.
All right, so if farmers want to, kind of go somewhere to learn more about the program and maybe even consider getting involved in implementing it on their operation, how can they do that?
Yeah, the best place to plug in is indigoag.com. So you can go there, you can actually access what we call our carbon calculator. You can plug in the location of your farm and some basic information, practice changes that maybe you've been thinking about or you've implemented over the last 2 years, and actually get an estimation of the amount of carbon you can sequester on your farm to understand, is this something I should be looking into? There are a lot of other agronomic tools and resources there to just learn more and expand your knowledge of carbon markets.
All right, Heather, lots of great information today. It's been great talking with you, and, enjoy the rest of the Farm Progress Show.
Thanks, you too.
That again was Heather Gieseke of Indigo Ag. As for right now, let's go ahead and take a look at that ag weather outlook. Well, day 2 of the Farm Progress Show got a little bit warmer today, although still great weather. Not as much cloud cover, but you can't complain that these are very workable conditions and just great walking weather in general. Now, tomorrow's looking like it could be a little bit warmer as well, so let's go ahead and take a look at what the National Weather Service has in store for the next 24 hours. As you can see from the National Weather Service, the wonderful weather should continue. Today we'll see sunny skies and a bit warmer temps, with those highs ranging from the mid-80s to about 90. Tonight we'll have variably cloudy skies and a bit warmer conditions, lows ranging from the upper 50s to upper 60s. And tomorrow, mostly sunny skies with clouds starting to roll in. Temps will go a little higher once again. Highs range from the upper 80s to low 90s. And on the affiliate weather map for tomorrow, Cherokee will be sunny with a high of 88, Shenandoah sunny and 89, Des Moines much of the same, sunny and 89, Albia sunny and 92, Waterloo sunny and 89, and Clinton very similar with sunny conditions and a high of about 87. For more detailed forecasts in your part of the state, make sure to check in with your local Iowa Agribusiness Radio Network affiliate. And that's been a check of the Ag Weather Outlook, and that also brings us to the end of this episode of Ag Matters PM. You can find all of our content on our website at iowaagnet.com. You can also follow us on social media at Facebook, Twitter, and TikTok, and you can find all of our video content as well as previous episodes of AM PM on our YouTube channel. So don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification button to see when those videos go live. Don't forget as well our free Twice Daily Market podcast on Apple, Amazon, Google, Spotify, and Podbean. From the Farm Progress Show in Boone, I'm Riley Smith. On behalf of Dustin Huffman and Mark Magnuson, we thank you for watching. This has been Ag Matters PM.